So I bought this bus in about 2013. I bought it pretty cheap and it needed a lot of work. It had pretty bad damage to that left quarter in the back, but I already had pulled it out at that point. It had a lot of rust. It came with some seats. I replaced all the lower metal, um, spot welded it all the way in, sanded it all down. Little by little, there was roof rust, just surface rust, but I sanded it all off and put that red primer on it that stops the rust. And then the nose had a lot of damage, no floors in the front. The bottoms of the doors were pretty bad. Of course, the typical cargo floors had a little bit of damage. The nose, look at that one, it's pretty bad. Then I was working on some of the sanding, getting ready to cut the nose out. Looks like there's a pretty good sized dent in that door. It wasn't too bad, but it was pretty bad. Took all the brakes off. It had no brakes on it. Yeah, I'm just getting ready to cut that nose. I can tell it's coming up pretty soon. Doing some spot putty, some sanding. There it is. There's the grafted nose. Look at that. Made that nose by hand. No parts. When I get done, you'll see how straight that is. I put in my own floors. I didn't buy the pre-made ones. They wanted too much money. For a Kombi bus, it wasn't worth it. So there's that nose all welded in, butt welded in, or I actually overlap welded it. I'm just kind of putting it together little by little. It was already lowered, so it's kind of neat. The progress on this thing gets pretty excessive right at this point, kind of moving along pretty good. I got this little awning to work under because it was too hot working in the sun. And painted the bumpers like a silver color to make them look like they were raw metal, just for fun. That's the bumpers getting painted there. That's what they look like, satin silver, silver gray. And that's that rust primer on the roof. I primed over that too, but I didn't really show that. There's the seat areas. Wasn't that bad of rust under there. After doing all the priming, did some spot putty, or not spot putty, that's glazing. Found a lot of little stuff everywhere, a lot of little dents in that thing. And welded up the floors. Well, I put patch panels all over all those spots. Wasn't that bad in there. Really wasn't too much damage in the floors. They were pretty solid on this bus. So the hard thing on this one was all the little door dings. So that's the bus after it's done. So if you notice a little bit later, you look at that front nose when I got done. There's another video on this bus where I just showed, I did everything with the DA. There was no hand blocking on this thing at all. I actually broke my wrist and painted the roof with my left hand at some point. I was crashing a motorcycle, so I had to paint it with my left hand. It was pretty wild. And so that's the finished product there. Pretty much all done with it. Ended up in Colorado. Guy loved it. He thought it was great. But that's how I bought that bus and fixed it all up and Did all this stuff to it. It's pretty nice. It's a nice looking bus. Yep, got the bumpers all done in silver. That seat's in red, and that's, I think, pearl white was the original color of the bus, so I painted the top pearl white. And kept the bulkhead painted just like that. Did my own headliner. Had to do that out of mohair, so it wasn't that hard. I couldn't, there's no headliner clips though. So anyway, that's check out this nose. Ta-da! That's it.